Here's another excerpt from Office Hours. In this excerpt, I'm answering a question about how do we not become spiritually fat? And I'll define what that looks like and how you can avoid doing that in this answer. Take a listen. I remember a minister, she came and ministered one time. She gave the perfect definition of what you're talking about. She said a lot of Christians are spiritually fat. You're constantly eating, but you're not doing any exercise. This concept is that you're hearing all this word, but you're not doing anything with it, right? So you're becoming fat spiritually, right? But you're not doing anything. The people here probably doesn't have that problem as much because as entrepreneurs, you have to do the word if you're going to be successful. You know, you're kind of forced into using it because if not, you're just going to be unsuccessful and then you're going to be frustrated. So there is a heavy requirement to take what you've heard from Bible study, from growing in faith to actually implementing the things that will bring success, right? And the things that bring success as an entrepreneur who's a believer is not really the marketing stuff per se. It's really your holiness walk too, right? It's like how you're treating your wife, how you're treating your husband, how are your relationships going? How's your love walk? So like those types of things. Are you living holy? Are you sleeping around? You're not sleeping around. Like all that affects your success. If you want to be successful from a ideal from God, you literally have to walk this out because you're not. So a lot of times what I find is that people who are not actually in their calling, they're the ones who get more spiritually fat. Right, because they're not in there. They're just settled. They're not doing anything. They just have a regular job. They go in, they leave, they clock out, they clock in. So they're not actually using the word. They're not praying. They're not seeking God for direction because life is just like autopilot for them. So I think all that to say, I think doing the word requires you to do the thing that God's called you to do. Right. Once you step into doing the thing God's called you to do, you'll realize how much you actually need the word. Right. How much you need to kind of, this is why the Bible says this. I need to pay attention to this thing over here. And so I think that's how you become not spiritually fat. It's actually when you're actually doing the word through the calling that God's placed in your heart. In terms of accountability, the accountability may be asking, like, hey, what are you doing your calling this week? You know, what's God speaking your heart about this week? What faith things are you doing this week to advance the thing God's placed in your heart? That burns up the spiritual fatness off you, and it forces you to need to keep refilling your spiritual tank because you're actually outputting stuff. So to do the things they're called to do. I pray that this excerpt from Office Hours was a blessing to you. If you would like to join us at our next Office Hours, go to churchforentrepreneurs.com, click on the calendar link, and then RSVP for our next Office Hours. If you'd like to partner with Church for Entrepreneurs, go to churchforentrepreneurs.com/partner. And remember, tell a friend about this podcast. Be blessed.